Good morning, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the NEC. I'm Andy, this is John. Today we're joined by Barney. Say hello, Barney.
Hello.
So I'll tell you a quick little bit about what we do. Basically, we ask people what their earliest car memories are. We delve back into history, typically kind of childhood, what got you into this, and maybe whether any of the cars your parents or other people in your childhood drove have changed or kind of, helped you purchase particular cars in later life. So, thank you very much for those people who are here, those people who are listening. We start these for the benefit of the tape. So for the benefit of the tape, we're joined by Barney Dines.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming.
I've known Barney 18 years. He's actually my boss. Barney is the CEO of Heritage Parts Centre. So do you want to give us a quick
bio? Yeah. I started playing around with Volkswagens when I was 15.
Okay.
And hobby became a job. And now I run a company that sells spare parts for classic VW, Porsche and Land Rover.
Okay. Can we have the volume up a little bit on this mic? That might be better. Okay. So, without further ado then, Barney, what's your earliest car memory?
Earliest car memory was washing my dad's Mk1 Escort Mexico when I was probably about 4 or 5 years old.
Okay.
There's a photo to prove it that my mum often gets out at Christmas and birthdays.
A gritty sponge and a bucket.
Gritty sponge, yeah, sort of rubbing grit over the paintwork. And
You get put away for that now, can you, on a Mexico, I think?
definitely.
Police would come.
Yeah.
So what colour was it?
It was yellow.
The sponge.
Yeah, it was yellow.
Quick.
Yellow chrome bumpers. I think it had a black interior, black vinyl interior. I remember sticking to it in the hot summers.
Yeah. And who was in the car with you?
I'm the eldest brother, so my little brother wasn't sort of walking by the time that one went. So just me, my mum and my dad. We used to go off on summer holidays in it down to the south of France and break down pretty much every year.
So was the Mexico around for a long time, Barney?
Probably a couple of years I remember it, and then it was upgraded to a Mark II, or downgraded to a Mark II. But it wasn't a Mexico. It was just a standard Popular Plus, if I remember rightly. Brown velour interior.
So you grew up in Essex. Was Ford the obvious choice? Was that kind of how you got there, do you reckon?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, my dad's other car, my dad's work car, was a Mk1 Granada Estate, which at the time to me seemed huge. Great big white estate car with a sort of tan velour interior. And it had one of the very early car phones. It was a big, literally a handset in the middle console on a wire that you just picked up and connected you to the operator. They said, who do you want to talk to? And you'd sort of tell them, I want car number 647 or Romford 2183 or something.
End up with a massive bicep picking that huge brick up.
and a huge bill, apparently.
Really?
So, yeah. I don't think my dad ever used it because it was so expensive. He just used to sort of pretend he was on it so he looked cool.
So I was going to say, that was a company car. So his personal cars, do you remember where he was sourcing those from at all?
I don't know. No, it's just sort of my dad was sort of into cars as a youth. He had Ford Anglias, and then obviously when I came along.
Yeah. So fair to say that your dad's love of cars probably got you into the same.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I've always been into cars even as a kid. You know, I had loads of Matchbox as we all did. What really got me into my Volkswagen love was watching a Bug Jam video when I was about 15 at school and sort of falling in love with the whole kind of the lifestyle behind it, all the racing and that particular episode had one of our colleagues, Ben Pascoe, in as a little kid.
Okay.
Winning the Rad Shorts competition.
Yeah.
So I didn't obviously know Ben at that time. So
yeah, small world, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the Mexico parked on the drive, or was it in the garage, or?
We had a driveway. Yeah, I remember it being on the drive, and we didn't have a garage at that time. So,
yeah.
But it was a daily car back then. We're talking 1979, 1980 maybe. So it was a fairly new car.
Yeah. Okay. And did your mum drive and your dad, or just?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was your dad hands-on with the sort of mechanics of the car? Was it,
Yeah. My dad would fix bits and bobs. As I said, when we went away, we'd go down to the south of France in the car every year, and getting on and off the ferry pretty much every year without fail, it'd pull the exhaust off, or it would scrape, and then the exhaust would fall off somewhere in the middle of rural France, and my dad would be under there with a couple of Jubilee clips and a bit of a tin can trying to put the thing back on and get us on our way, or sort of muddling by with broken French trying to talk to a local garage and tell them to fix the car.
And did you have music on? What were you listening to?
I don't really remember the music situation. I would imagine it was pretty ropey. It'd be some dodgy AM radio crackling away. I do remember a bit later on when my brother and I were in the back, piled up, because we used to go camping. So it was all the sleeping bags and all the camping equipment in the car. We'd be sat on top of it, sort of a good sort of foot or two above the back seat.
Okay.
Squabbling.
Yeah.
And my mum would sort of build a barrier between the two of us to stop us from arguing.
was your mother just sort of chief navigator and head of snacks?
Yeah. There were a lot of fraught navigational issues sort of around Paris. I distinctly remember getting stuck on the peripherique and sort of missing several turnings. And my mum has a fairly, let's say, just in case she listens, I don't want to be rude. She can make her point known.
We're not going to bring her out from around the back of it. Surprise!
Hello, Mum.
France is quite a popular choice, isn't it? And it's crazy to think, like these days, if someone said, do you want to drive to Paris in a Mk1 Escort, you just laugh at them.
Yeah, we did a family holiday down to the southwest of France last year in a very modern Passat. And that was hard work with two young kids. So, hats off to Mum and Dad for doing it in a Mk1 Escort.
I'm quite scared.
In the 80s.
We're doing a trip to Disney Paris at Christmas. I'm slightly nervous now, having heard that it's even bad in a modern vehicle. So
there were no iPads in those days either. So we had to argue to pass the time.
I spy and arguing.
Yeah.
So, did your dad deviate away from Fords at any point, or was he still quite loyal?
He did have a Vauxhall Cavalier, I believe. That was the next car after the Mark II.
Yeah.
Black CDI, I believe. So top of the range. It was very luxurious.
Yeah.
Much quicker, much bigger.
Quite a nice, comfy seat on those vehicles.
Yeah.
We've covered that a few times, haven't we, in previous
my dad had a Cavalier.
Yeah. No, I remember having some good weekends in that. Again, we used to go down to France in that, and my first lads holiday with my dad, my brother, my dad's best friend, and his son down to Run to the Sun. I think I was probably about 14. Maybe.
Okay.
It was sort of early days of Run to the Sun, maybe the first or second one, and we went down in the Cavalier. I challenged my dad to a drinking competition and lost. Remember throwing up out of the window of the Cavalier.
Oh God! So,
what year was the Cavalier?
Apologies to anyone eating lunch, right?
Yeah.
It was a B reg. So what's that? 80.
That's a Mark II, I think.
Mark II,
Yeah.
B reg, yeah. Black, grey velour. Yeah, nice car. Good sound system in that.
Okay.
Tape deck. Don't think it had CD player. Not sure. Can't remember.
So do you remember kids from school with interesting cars or neighbours?
Yeah, my next door neighbour when I was growing up, he had it was a Yugo.
Oh yeah.
Yugo?
Which was really unusual.
Always reminds me of the third Die Hard film. Don't know if you've ever seen that before.
Yeah,
it's quite a good scene with Yugo in. Yeah.
Right, okay.
A bit niche there maybe, but...
And guy up the road was into Skodas as well. He had a couple of old Skoda Estelles, which he got the absolute Mickey taken in for.
Half of the course, wasn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, he had a couple, and he kind of used to sort of take one apart to fix the other one, and then take the other one apart to fix that one again. And it's a constant sort of swapping of parts. And my dad's sort of running friend, my dad was into marathon running.
Okay.
His sort of main running friend that lived opposite us, his son had a 911 Targa.
Oh, nice.
So I think it was an impact bumper model, so it would have been sort of early 80s, orange Targa, really nice condition.
Yeah.
So that was quite fun to see that every day, and got a few rides in that.
Yeah. So apart from Bug Jam on telly, no VWs in the street. That kind of it was the lifestyle rather than the car.
There was one actually a couple of doors up. I can't think of the family's name now. It was. I think they'd had it from new, and I remember sort of seeing it every day, and then it went off and they had it restored.
Okay.
So I can't remember. It was a 70s flat screen Beetle.
Yeah.
So I always kind of thought, oh, that's a nice car. I like that. So it was always kind of there. Run to the Sun was the big one for me. That really kind of like piqued my interest. And then sort of around that time, a lot of my school friends kind of got into Volkswagens as well. So one of my best friends at school, guy called Daryl, who's still sort of floating around. I sort of get to speak to him every now and again. And another guy, Bradley, they were into the VW scene. And there was quite a big VW scene around Brentwood.
Yeah.
The sort of cowlook scene back in the early 90s really kind of was big in Essex. So there was Richie King in Karma Connection in Southend.
Yeah.
There was German Car Company, the Big Boys Toys in Thurrock that I later went to work for.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of interest around. The Bug Jam video got a lot of traction amongst me and my friends. So yeah, we all bought tatty old Beetles and lowered them as much as we could, and didn't do any of the sensible mechanical repairs. You know, my first thing I wanted to put in was a set of one-piece windows.
And how did you learn kind of the trade, so to speak, like on the tools? Did your dad help you with mechanics, or?
Yeah, Dad helped a bit. Paul, who's my now business partner, Paul Howard, he worked on a farm, so he was very handy.
Okay.
We were sort of friends from school from about sort of 10 years old.
Yeah.
And that's actually where we worked on our cars. The farm that Paul worked at, we did a bit of extra work for free, like the rubbish jobs that people didn't really want to do, like cleaning out the grain stores and things like that when it was 30 degrees outside, to pay for sort of our rent to keep the cars there and work on them there. So Paul's always been pretty handy. Yeah, my dad's fairly mechanically minded. My mum used to work at a technical college, and they had a mechanical engineering department there, so sometimes I sort of take some bits in there and get some help there as well.
That's cool. Yeah.
Any cars from, well, not just your dad's history, but anyone you've known that you particularly like to take a ride in again that have maybe drifted away?
Oh, that's a good one.
And who would you travel with, if anyone?
When I actually went to Run to the Sun the first time under my own steam, I didn't make it back, sadly, under my own power. The AA
Car's still there on the side.
I'd like to kind of relive that. That was a really fantastic trip. We were all 17, 18 in cobbled together Volkswagens. Most of them didn't make it back without some sort of repair. And we used to swap around cars, so we'd sort of take it in turns to drive each other's cars or go as passengers. We all had CB radios because mobile phones weren't a big thing then.
Yeah.
And there was a friend of mine, Paul Murphy, who used to sort of buy a Beetle and really tosh it over. I mean, just quick paint job. For some reason, he had a bit of an obsession with stripping them out and putting cages and bucket seats in.
Yeah.
And would always put a stinger on it, and it would be the most fun car because it would be so loud and so ridiculous, and he'd just blast past everybody with the noisiest exhaust you could imagine, and then drop back, let everybody pass him again, and then do it again. And this would go on for like sort of 500 miles. So yeah, that would be good. It'd be good to meet up with Paul. He lives in Australia now, so I
Okay.
don't see him. But it'd be good to meet up with Paul and
do that.
blast about again. Yeah. So maybe the Heritage Race Beetle could be that car.
Yeah, silly exhaust.
We on that first trip as well. A friend of mine jumped in with Paul, and he ended up in one of the split T2 splits or T1 splits, which broke down. And they all ended up, I think there was 8 people in it, ended up having to sleep in the split that night because they broke down in the middle of Cornwall. The AA or RAC couldn't get out to them. So he ended up in a survival bag underneath the camper for the night. Next morning we woke up, we'd all got to the campsite and turned on the CB. And there they were. Is anybody there? Please come and help us.
SOS.
We did get to them. We got to them. We got them towed back, and we ended up taking the engine out and changing the clutch on the campsite.
Okay.
Which was fun.
Wow. The recovery service must have been sort of dreading every time your number came up. Oh, not again. Normal this time.
My gran used to buy my AA membership for me for my birthday every year. And one year she got a letter from them telling them that I should perhaps consider servicing my car.
You mentioned your did your grandparents drive? Do you remember what they were driving?
They did, actually, yeah. And funny enough, I didn't think of it earlier. My granddad had, the first car I remember him having was actually a Type 3 variant. Okay. So it was yellow. He had a couple. He had a yellow one and a white one. I couldn't tell you what they were. I think they were 1500 or 1600 Type 3 variants. He then went on to Volvos, which we won't talk about. But my gran also, she was really into English sports cars. So she had Spitfires. Oh, cool. So she had a couple of Spitfires. She had I think she had a TR6, something like that. And she actually had her name down on the waiting list for Morgan for a very, very long time. And sadly, by the time her name came up, she was too old to be able to get in and out of it. So she went to do the test drive, and she couldn't get in and out of it. So she had to give it up. I think she was on the list for 20 years.
Really?
Oh, wow.
So
that was quite something, I guess. You go back that time, kind of being a female into cars, and especially into sports cars as well.
Yeah.
Must have been a very male-dominated...
Yeah, she was a bit of a force of nature, my gran. She was driving till she was 92.
Wow.
She shouldn't have been. They did take her licence away because she hit someone at a crossing, which is fortunately they weren't hurt. They just sort of bumped into. Yeah. She claimed she couldn't see them.
She started braking at 90. It took her 2 years to cut to a halt.
But yeah, she used to drive from Essex up to Suffolk every weekend until she was until she was pretty much 90. And yeah,
that's something, isn't it? So yeah, if we go back to schools, do you remember teachers with cars? There's normally a teacher with a cool car or a complete mess.
There was. I can't remember his name. There was a couple actually. There was one guy who had a Sierra Cosworth.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So
that's good on a teacher's wage, isn't it?
Yeah. He was some sort of engineering teacher or something, and he did some. I don't know if he had a side hustle with Ford.
Bank robbery.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he had a. I think he had a RS500, like with the big whale tail, and then he had a Sapphire.
Yeah.
Remember that.
King of the car park.
Yeah.
If you were driving that.
One of the sixth formers had a Beetle.
Yeah.
So that was a couple of years above me. And I was sort of good friends with him in the end through the VW thing.
Yeah.
A guy called Pete Warner, who's I'm still friends with him on Facebook.
Okay.
I've got a vague memory that he's moved away as well. So all these people running away from me.
So John kind of touched on it. Are there any of those cars that you kind of think I'd really fancy one of those? Obviously, yeah, we kind of dabble with Volkswagen. I dabble, more than dabble during the day. But would you want like a Mk1 Mexico or...
Yeah, maybe. I think I'd rather have the Cosworth.
Yeah? You like going fast, don't you?
Yeah, I saw a really nice RS500 the other day. I was on the M25. It was absolutely mint.
Yeah.
And had clear glass on the windows, which was really weird because they've got quite big windows on the Sierra.
Yeah.
So you
Anything
could
in,
really kind of see inside and everything that was going on.
anything in the auction here that's caught your eye?
Ooh, the sort of pages sort of 1 through to sort of 700.
Yeah, really.
There's a Ferrari. Is it 355? I think it
355,
was.
red
I was
one, wasn't it? We were looking
yeah, funny enough, red Ferrari. Yeah, I always fancied a 355. Sort of growing up, I had a Testarossa poster on my wall as a kid growing up, and then the 355 came out. It's like, oh yeah, that's a real car. And but yeah, they're quite a lot of money now, aren't they? They're sort of 100k mark.
Remortgage job.
Yeah, I've got a Porsche 997, and when I bought that, I was hankering after the 350, but they were like 40 grand, and the Porsche was sort of 20.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they've not stayed sort of quite in the same price bracket. The Porsche is still about 25, 30, and the Ferrari's sort of north of 100 now.
Yeah,
so
the servicing's probably in your favour, though, I imagine.
yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah, servicing. What's that?
That's what we sell parts for.
Just
Barney.
wipe the filter and
Pop it back in again.
top the oil up. So,
What else do we need to ask you? Any smoking enthusiasts?
smoking.
Smoking enthusiasts?
Yeah.
Smoking in the cars?
Everybody smoked back in the day in the car.
I did used to smoke.
Well, not necessarily yourself. Generally, as a
Passive.
My parents didn't smoke growing up. My grandparents didn't either. Not within my memory anyway. But yeah, I used to smoke, and all my friends used to smoke, and we used to smoke in the car with the windows fully up. Paul's left-handed, so he's got this really annoying habit of like flicking ash all over the floor around the gear stick because he'd smoke with his left hand. And also he quite often flicked the cigarette out the window and it'd bounce back into his lap, and he'd be like trying to flick it off. I think the great thing about Beetles is, early Volkswagens, it's quarter lights, perfect for smoking.
yeah,
It's true.
So
that's the thing, isn't it? Those things.
rather smoke the tyres these days.
Yeah, better for your health. Maybe not, but yeah, probably is better for your bank balance.
Yeah. Speaking of which, do you remember the burnout? God, what was it? The Wörthersee.
Yeah. Oh yes.
When we were in the
we went to Austria to a
hire
show called
car.
Wörthersee,
Right.
which is just a mental show. They take over a whole town.
is that still going?
No, they've stopped it.
Have they?
They've moved. You know, they had the big concrete Golf.
Yeah.
They've moved that to Wolfsburg, I think.
Oh right, okay.
But yeah, you drive down these streets, and it's literally like walking through a London Underground station. You have to sort of move sideways to walk down these streets. And yeah, we were in a hire car, weren't we? And everyone they shout "gummy," don't they, or "gummy"?
Yeah, they
get
stopped
you
it.
to
It was basically a burnout checkpoint. So
What were we in, a Fiat 500 or something?
Saxo or something terrible, the cheapest hire car we could find. And yeah, we gave it a good go though.
Yeah, wheel spins.
They put a bit of water down for us, didn't they?
Yeah. And yeah, apart from France, any memorable journeys? So did you go to school in the car, or?
Yeah, we went to a sort of small school. We're in the sticks a bit from where we lived in Brentwood.
Yeah.
And my mum and a mum up the road used to sort of take it in turns to do the school run.
Yeah.
So they had a big Volvo. What's the big square Volvo Estates?
740s, maybe?
Yeah.
I think earlier than that.
240?
The one that's in ET.
Oh, John, you're the film man.
I don't know that one, I'm afraid.
Don't know. Big like the 740, but the big square one.
Yeah, yeah.
Big clunky one. Yeah, I remember that. That
It's
was
quite like a Volvo.
yeah.
I remember getting a lift on rainy days in a Volvo.
They had three kids, I think, or maybe even four. So they had three. That's right.
Oh, with the old death
So they
seats
had
in the back.
that's right. Yeah. So we could get like sort of 5 or 6 of us in the back of that, and then we'd like all 5 or 6 of us would squeeze into the back of my mum's Escort. So
Are those the rear-facing seats in the Volvo?
Yeah, I think they
vomit
had them,
seats?
yeah.
Yeah, first on the scene for an accident.
Yeah.
Which, probably good that they don't do that anymore.
I think so.
Yeah, we used to go away on a lot of weekends as well. So we'd sort of go camping for weekends away, and that would always be in the car. We had a trailer tent at one point, which would
Okay,
sort
yeah.
of drag behind the the car. I think that's probably the reason the exhaust used to get pulled off on the ferry.
Yeah.
The
Pulls it down.
The nose weight, yeah. But yeah. We used to go a lot of trips, lot of squabbling on the back seat.
Can you remember what your actual first car journey was, do you think? Would it have been a holiday away?
No, I couldn't say. Probably on the way back from the hospital when I was born.
So you're a parent. Do you think your kids will get into cars?
I'd like to think so. I've got a project car that's been sat in our warehouse for some time. It's a 550 Spider kit car that was donated. And I've got this, I'll call it a dream, because I don't actually have a solid plan to back it up yet, to build it with my kids. So my daughter, Margot, she's 5.5 now. She's starting to get a bit interested in cars. Fred's only 2. All he wants to do is smash them and push food into the upholstery. But yeah, I've recently moved house, so I'm planning to build a garage and build the car with the kids. So hopefully that'll get it ingrained into their psyche and their souls.
Is there anything in particular your parents did which you kind of think, I really want to do that with my kids?
I think it's the holidays.
Yeah.
Getting away and on road trips and driving. So my partner Katie, she's got a couple of T6 camper vans that she rents out. That's her job. And we've done a few trips in them. We did a 6-week trip around Spain and France when Margot was about 18 months, which was fantastic. Sort of stopping off at campsites, bit of wild camping, few Airbnbs to sort of break up and
get a shower.
Yeah. You tend to get a bit feral if you spend too much time in a camper van. And we did a month the following year around Portugal. That wasn't quite as successful because Margot could escape by that time. At sort of 2.5, she worked out how to kind of unzip and get out of and undo the doors and get out of the camper. So we spent a bit more time in Airbnbs that trip. But yeah, I'd like to do that again, probably in a bigger van.
Yeah.
Once Fred's a bit older and a bit less of a handful. So I'd like to do a big US road trip as well. I think that'd be a good one to do.
Okay.
But perhaps in a car, hire or buy a muscle car and do some motel stops and see some of the sort of the big roads, Route 66, Death Valley, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What about taking your dad to the south of France in a Mk1 Escort? Payback.
Yeah. Surprise!
You're in the back in shorts, Dad.
Yeah.
40 degrees out there.
No aircon. God, how did we survive without aircon?
Oh, I can tell you, it's quite hard in the 944. It's like a sauna.
Have you not got AC in the 4.4?
No, and the heating's stuck on at the moment.
Oh, really? Wow.
Takes his top off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Barney.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
It's been good to have a chat, hear a bit more of your story. Obviously, I know kind of business-wise what you get up to, but nice to hear the story behind it. So,
cool.
Yeah, thank you very much to everyone for listening. Thank you very much to Barney from Heritage Parts Centre. Thank you, John.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Andy. Thanks.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a good weekend.
Cheers.